shit. So come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna try to see how to put this on my social media page. This is the preload. I always don't know how to get it on my social media page. While hope everybody had a good week.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm trying to see if we on. Okay, I see it right here on G&J Media. You can go to YouTube also, and it's Kwanzaa 365 Space Media. That on YouTube if you want to go to YouTube. Because sometimes with Facebook you can't watch. If you want to go away from the screen,
Right.
sometimes it'll just cut your ass off. So if you do it through YouTube, then that would be Kwanzaa 365 Space Media, and we're also streaming there. I think our website crashed, right?
Our website crashed. Thank you very much because y'all have been coming out. Some of y'all been coming out and y'all been using the site. So now I have to go and grow it, and I appreciate you 100,000.
100,000%.
So anybody want to start off the week with anything they want to share with the community while we waiting for folks to come in? Any experiences, anything? Y'all like that sweater on, Lou? Woo! Because last week you was sitting back looking like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
You see when he was sitting back like this with the scarf on and
Right. Bernie Sanders is the motherfucking socialist man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they
He
call
want
him.
everybody. He want everybody to have the same amount of money.
Is that what it is? I like O'Byrne for me compared to the others.
Yeah.
You know. What?
Nah.
Shut your mouth.
He'll never make president though.
No, of course not. He'll never make president. Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
Come on through, son. Come on through.
All right.
All right.
You want to go through?
Lighter right there. He needs a lighter that's right there.
Shit, we got a whole bunch of lighters.
All right.
On the floor, right?
I don't have any exciting adventures this week that I could talk about.
You don't have shit.
That we could talk about.
Well, you can talk about anything. This is blunt talk.
This is blunt talk, but we don't want to be that blunt right now. We will deal with it in the future. We'll deal with it in the future, family. Listen. But hey, I'm glad that y'all are coming in. Yo, we're gonna have a good conversation. We forgot to open up the lines. The lines will be open today.
Lines will be open today. But listen, we're gonna get on started then. We might as well get on started. And there you go on the fiddle.
Yeah. If we're gonna open up the lines, I got to.
Ain't nobody gonna call shit lighter.
I think I have faith in the people. I believe that somebody gonna call in tonight because they ain't scared. Blunt talk, type blunt talk in and you know how to do it. So we gonna kick it. We gonna kick
if I
it.
change the title on the whatchamacallit. We can change it later, whatever. All right. So anyway, let's get to this. We want to talk about the disconnect.
The disconnect.
The disconnect.
We gotta talk about the disconnect. There is a definite disconnect within our community between the so-called generations. And
so we would say there's a disconnect, I would say, between the elders
and everybody else.
Olders and youngers. I think there's a disconnection between all of that. And we need to try to figure out a way to bring us together so we can work together. Because a lot of these places we deal with, you got a bunch of old folk who cannot even begin to relate, don't even really try to relate to younger folk. And it results in motherfucking calamity. And can you give me an example?
For example, the language change, the use of words, in the elder community. Because now, let me explain. At one point in time, when a lot of our elders, if you are over 60, you could remember being in a town and knowing people that have been in that town their whole motherfucking lives. They have went nowhere, and the world was frozen where they were.
Okay.
As we move through time, the generation gap, how can I put it? The generation started shifting. So it went from 40 years to where we have a generational shift almost like between 15 and 20 years. Like, for example, if you look at people and you look at computer programs, it's very similar. If I learned to program computers
in the 1800s.
No, in the 1960s, that program no longer would be valid in discussing or trying to have a conversation and connect computers today. And that's, in a sense, what's happening in our community. We have people using old cultural programs to try to communicate with a generation that is moving faster and it is exposed to more information than at any other time in history.
But do you believe that you can always take from the past and bring it forward?
You're supposed to.
That's
Sankofa. But now, what we have to be bold enough to do, and I don't think a lot of us are, we have to be bold enough to take from the past what worked.
Yeah, what worked?
Right. What we have a lot of people want to
what will work.
We have
what worked back then may not work
exactly.
Now.
We got
so
a lot.
You got to take what's going to still work with you.
Right. Today, we have people who want to use old methods, old ways of communicating. They don't understand.
Even even in dating, shit. Motherfuckers don't come up to you no more and be like, "What's your sign, baby?" You know that shit ain't gonna work no more.
It
ain't? You know what I'm saying? No. Damn. You got to come with some better shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what people younger than me say now, but what it do or what's up, baby? You know, I remember when, hey, baby, that was cool to say. But now I hear people, older people anyway, think that's inappropriate to say things like, "Oh, baby, hey, baby, you looking good. Your ass is fat. The record scratch." You know what I'm saying? You can't say that kind of shit when you're trying. That might have worked in the 70s, but it's not working in the 21st century. So how do we communicate with one another in the 21st century? Now, I'm saying that I curse and shit.
Oh, you?
And I've been told, look, I'm trying to see, I'm on the wrong side here. I've been told that cursing is not a proper way to communicate. What do you say about that?
I say that cursing is an attention-getting method of communication. Now, a lot of people want to equate it with intelligence, but we know very intelligent people that also express themselves using cuss words. What cuss words do, it puts an exclamation mark on what you're saying so that people focus in. At least those people who are trying to really listen to what you're saying. If I'm not trying to really listen to what you're saying, your cuss words will give me a reason not to listen to you. And that's what we have. We have a lot of people that's looking for a reason not to even listen to what the fuck is going on. Like I just cussed right now. Some people going to be offended by that. But hey, go on. This show ain't for you.
Well, what do you say about cursing, Illumina? Do you think that that's not good to curse when we're trying to relay a message? Because I know some of our elders was Astra Quasi would curse, if y'all know who that is.
Dr. Ben.
Dr. Ben Yakinen.
I don't think nothing wrong with cursing. Unless you trying to be a saint. And guess what? Ain't no saints in heaven, you know, so you might need to give that shit up, you know, and walk on the boardwalk, you know, until there ain't no more walking to do, you know what I'm saying? And then your ass sink. But, you know, I don't think nothing wrong with cussing. But if you know that people who do have a problem with cussing, then what we kind of like need to do is don't fuck with them and don't be around them. You know, if you're gonna be cussing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
go to church.
That way you don't have to worry about trying to hear.
Because a lot of times I'm noticing
what the fuck they don't like
in the quote unquote conscious community. Some of these woke folks, there's a section.
Just call them what they are. Sterile. They're not reproducing themselves.
They feel like if you are not talking in the academia way, which is a form of elitism for real, that you are not talking properly. And we need to get out of that because people can get their points across in many fucking ways.
And And a lot of people are not academic. A lot of people use the common vernacular. And the common vernacular, unfortunately, for some of us, uses a lot of what you would call swear words because those words get attention. When you out here competing in the world for attention, you got to do things to get attention. Attention is a new currency.
So if I say what, or if I say, what the hell?
What the hell gets more attention than what? What the hell gets more attention? So now everybody's focused on you.
What that nigga said?
What that nigga say? What?
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
okay. So, there is a way that we can still communicate. And I think that we have to communicate. A lot of our younger people understand and relate to that vernacular. And if you're going to try to pull in younger people, because you can't keep the shit with yourself. You keep the shit with yourself, it's going to die with you.
It's going to die with you.
So you got to bring this shit forward.
Got to bring it forward.
And quit living in the motherfucking past with that shit, because it's going to keep you stagnant on that ass.
That's why I call it sterile. You have a sterile sense of this cultural piece that we talk about. Because when we isolate individuals and start pointing people out because of how they talk, we are becoming sterile. It's sterile because it eliminates a large portion of the population that we're trying to reach.
Right.
Now, Blunt Talk was designed to reach a population that usually wouldn't even be looking for Jews. They might be looking for drama. So we are able to reach a certain population that are a little bit more open to our conversations. Brilliant. And whoever came up with this idea, it was brilliant, right? We're gonna come in, we're gonna be ourselves.
Right.
See, what black people need is we need more people acting authentically, because many of us are dying behind the mask that we try to put on in the face of white supremacy. I'm not gonna die with my mask on.
Because I ain't wearing that motherfucker if I don't need to wear it. Now,
I want to get to a point where we don't have to wear it.
Yeah, for sure. Because sometimes you have to wear the mask in certain situations. In a spook that sat by the doorway. You see what I'm saying? But when you with your people and you chilling and you having a conversation, you should not have to have the pressure of speaking in this motherfucking King's English to the T.
Say that again. What is it?
The King's English.
The King's English. Who is the fucking king?
If you ain't.
My king is God. I don't bow to the English monarchy. I don't bow to any of these other monarchies. I bow to the Creator. And the Creator endowed me with words. And there's certain words that get more attention and it helps get my point across. And also can lighten up the mood in certain situations. Because my whole piece in cussing and in the way I communicate is to make it available for everybody that's in the room. Everybody in this room. I could be dropping jewels and then I might just throw a cuss word in there to go on and snap somebody who might have been on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? To bring them into tune with what we're doing.
All right, so listen, we were talking about this last week and I kind of wanted to touch on this. We was going to touch on it this week and it just hit me. How do you attract a mate? What are you looking for in a mate? What are the things that you look for if you were single, Hot 10? What are some of the things you would be looking for in a woman? What would attract
Honesty?
you? Yes. No, I want you to lie. Yes.
Okay. We're gonna start with the body first.
Okay, so that's the first thing that attracts you is the body.
Right.
Okay, well, what else besides the body? What about the body that attracts your ass?
Well, I like women of all sizes. I like a woman based in my eye. I want some balance. I want some in the front and I want some in the back. That's my eye. That's right. I practice my principles even on the carnal level. You know what I'm saying? I want a little bit in the front and a little bit in the back. And if you got a lot in the front, I want it to balance out with an equal amount of balance on the back.
Yeah, on the back end.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, then I'm going to evaluate the conversation that we are able to have. Because if you are able to deal with the fact that Brother Hatim is a nation builder and you're going to build with me, then we cool. You know what I'm saying? It's going to work out.
So what do you, well, okay, let me just say this. As a woman, one of the things I look at or look for in a man is where his mind is when it comes to white folk.
I find that out after the first two.
Okay, well, that's one of the things I have to cut because a lot of times I cannot relate to a motherfucker who, for example, thinks that everything is what I say, Ine Scotia with the whites. For example, even with people say, oh, there's such these conspiracy theorists are crazy, and the conspiracy theorists are that, and listen, some of these conspiracies may be out there, and some of them may not be out there, but what the fuck is out there? Because I always say a person who is capable, a group of people who are capable of enslaving, raping, and torturing a group of people based on the color of their skin are capable of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Of anything. So when people start looking at certain people who say there's some kind of conspiracy, when did the United States government not conspire against black folks?
Ooh, that's the question.
Yeah.
So why do you get so offended when a motherfucker say there might be something behind this vaccine shit? There may be something behind this COVID-19 shit. And then you got black people that'll look at you and say, that's something, you crazy.
You crazy.
You crazy. What the hell you mean? They said that the vaccine was healthy. But then we see commercials all the time like, did you take Seroquel? You may be eligible for compensation. You know what I'm saying? So we know that they put shit out. Yeah. And those commercials are on every day.
Every day.
You know that motherfucker did you take Seroquel and your penis no longer works?
My penis?
You may be eligible for compensation. You know what I'm saying? So people have to realize that we are experiencing a constant conspiring against black folk.
Constantly. We have been in a war, and many of us want to act like we have not. A lot of us want to act like they want us to be a part of this union. In many cases, you can look at some of the policies of even the ones that y'all cheerleading for right now. A lot of their policies is always been about
Biden and Kamala Harris. Are they black folks' savior? Are they the black folks' savior?
Hell no.
No, they never have. And, the only reason why she said she was black.
You gotta speak up a little bit.
Okay, the only reason why she said she was black doing the.
Is this microphone on?
Yeah. They'll let you know.
The only reason why.
Check the chats.
The only reason why she said she was black during the election period is because she wanted your vote. Now, and you gave it to her. You know what I'm saying?
Because I ain't never heard she would say she was black before then.
Right. And another thing is that, look, she got a white husband. Some people won't say he's Jew, but if he's Jew, he white. You know what I'm saying?
Jew is a religion.
Jew is a religion. You're right. Here is my take on a mate. You got to have some cultural knowledge about who you are. You got to have some cultural knowledge about where you're going.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And you got to have some cultural knowledge about how you're going to get there.
Mm.
And if you're just walking around, if you're just waking up in the morning, walking around talking about, girl, a boy, whatever you call yourself, I'm going to do this here and I'm going to do that, then I'm going to have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you say I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You got to elaborate on I'm going to do this. And what does that mean? What is I'm going to do this and do that? What does that consist of? I mean,
right.
What does that mean?
Right.
You ever had a woman that you dated and you didn't like once you got to know her? And what was the particulars that you didn't like?
Look, my second wife.
You getting personal, y'all.
Yeah, bless her. You know what I'm
bless
saying?
her heart.
We good friends today, and I know she don't mind me saying this because she learned her lesson, along the way. With me, anyways.
She lost the gym.
And after I was gone, she still carried those lessons today. So
you made her better.
Yeah. because every now and then, she'll tell me that when we talk, that Alumala, I remember you saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But before we got married, she always said, "Well, what I'm gonna do with my white friend?" I said, "Well, shit. If you met them at work, you keep them there,
Right.
because they can't come here." You know what I'm saying? And they never came throughout the whole marriage. They never came. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, on that thing, and I'm always checking the inner family of the person who I'm with. Meaning that, how many of your relatives are married to white people, and
We don't need that.
they try and come
Check it
to.
out.
Look, I'm not telling you.
Thought I did that already.
I'm not saying that you need to
you get bossy. I'm just
not be with your cousin who married somebody white, but don't be bringing them around my motherfucking ass, because I ain't used of it, and I ain't trying to get used of it. You know what I'm saying? I'll accept it, but I don't want to be around that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit, that does something to me, and it's not good.
What it do? Describe what it does to you.
Excuse me. Because I know that, like Navita said earlier, I know that white people do not have our best interests at heart. Now, they might have married him, but that don't mean they like all of us.
And I think that's a common misconception, that when a person marries a black person, that somehow that automatically cancels out their whole possibility of being a racist. Now, let me say this to you, because I heard this on the show today, and I've said this before, and I need to reiterate this shit to y'all. There's a group of black people out here who think that if you marry somebody white and you have children with them, that you are making more black people, because the product of a union that's interracial, black and white, produces a black child. So they say, I'm fighting racism by creating more black people. However, what I see is that when you do that, okay, and you have this union, a lot of times now you've got a child and he gonna marry a white motherfucker too.
Yeah. If you got two children by a white person, one of them gonna choose somebody white. It never fails.
And this is about building, because one of the things, and let me explain this too. This is not being anti-white. This is being pro-black family. Because one of the biggest problems we have in the black community, statistics shows that black women are the last to get married and the first to get divorced.
Damn.
Now, if
that means we need polygamy.
Yeah. Come on in.
So that means that's part of the piece. If you are trying to say you pro-black and you want to see black people force, the first place you need to work that out is in building black families. Black families are in a dire straits right now because, like I said, statistics show black women are the last to get married and the first to get divorced. I'm hungry. So, sorry, y'all.
So, so let us be careful, y'all. We don't have to strike at, the first thing that comes our way. Oh, this is my friend, he's my roommate. Now, you don't need no white roommate. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no white roommate. Boy, you know it, your ass go to being like you don't want to be black no more. And especially, in these universities where our brothers and sisters are attending, they, especially with the not HBCUs, but if they are, like Ohio State.
Hey, you better leave my alone.
It's a shame that we don't do the history on Ohio State, but black folks love that motherfucking institution. They love that institution. You say something about Ohio State, motherfuckers will tear your ass up. And do you know? And do you know that when Frank Hale made this transition?
Who's Frank Hale?
What?
Frank Hale was the direct. Well, he was a PhD in communication at Ohio State. Okay, but he was bringing in a lot of black.
Black?
Yeah, he was.
Yes,
black.
he was.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
shouts out to Frank Hale.
The Frank Hale Cultural Center was named after him, and when he died, it tore that motherfucker down. So
Ohio State?
Yeah.
At Ohio State. Yeah.
They tore that motherfucker down?
Tore the fucking building down. You know what I mean? And if you go over there on 12th Avenue, where it was, they don't have nothing there now.
Nope, no people for you.
They don't have nothing there now until, so, man,
it's an empty field.
Empty field with a couple of motherfucking brick benches.
But you're a Buckeye, ain't you?
Who?
I
graduated from Ohio State.
And I went back there too, but I just want us to wake up, start thinking,
But that's so hard, Luma.
It's hard. I know it's hard, but we sacrifice for everything else. Why we can't sacrifice for?
Well, let me ask you this: people say you don't choose who you love. You can't help who you love. What do you say to that?
What the fuck you mean? You better make some choices about that shit. That shit gonna kill you.
People say it all the time. You can't help who you love. What do you say to that?
Mm-hmm.
No, the nigga beside you.
What do you think about that? Listen, family. As my elder taught me a long time ago, she said, Brother Hatim, your problem is that you believe in love. And she said, Brother Hatim, love ain't shit.
I think love is shit, though.
When you marry, it's a business relationship. You out here looking for love. I'm looking for business opportunities for my people. I said, damn, you living a lonely life. But hey, as I got older and I really got a chance to digest what she was saying to me, I understand. Right? Because family, for example, you can't control who you love if it's all about you. You're right. If it's all about you, but if it's about your tribe and your people, you got to help who you love.
You can help who you love, because you make a conscious decision on whether you're going to even talk to the motherfucker in the first place.
That's right.
It ain't like the shit, that's just some fancy, goofy ass shit to say, in my opinion, because it gives you it alleviates you of the responsibility of who the fuck you just picked.
Because sometimes the motherfucker who you think you want to talk to pass by your motherfucking ass like they don't even see you.
Shit, that happened to me on the weekly basis.
And then you got to catch them on the other end, and they still don't see you. And then you got to tell them,
you, Paul Dorsey.
Anytime you tell them motherfuckers that, damn, I've been waiting for you to get by yourself so I can say something to you. And the motherfucker tell you, like, say what to me? What you gonna say to me? You know what I'm saying? And now you got to go to,
but you kind of
you got to go to line talking about how beautiful she is or how beautiful he is when their attitude is all fucked up.
We marry and we fall in love for the emotion.
Yeah, we're emotional motherfuckers. That's why we always get fucked up.
Other people are marrying for position and power.
That's right.
Power is the ultimate end of the game. Yes, sir. You want some? Y'all want some pizza?
Okay. So listen, I think that you can marry for love, and you can also marry from a business perspective. Both things can happen at the same time. Let me tell you something.
Mostly not in our community. I'm sorry.
No.
We gotta be very purposeful about our relationships.
No, yeah, but you can be purposeful with a motherfucker you love. Because let me tell you what happens.
Most of the time, when you fall in love as a woman, y'all fall in love with motherfuckers that ain't got shit when you young. So I'm just saying.
Right.
So that's why we all need to be guided. You're not marrying her, you're marrying him.
That's why I said that both things can occur at the same time. You know what? Goddamn it! Shut the hell up! You got me talking about the same Tim and shit. You can you can marry a person that you love and that you are also have a business relationship with. Because if you don't marry somebody that you digging, even though you in a personal relationship, when you wake up next to that motherfucker, you be like, I should bust this motherfucker in the head today.
See,
now nobody wants to wake up like that.
But you're right.
Because then that just ages you, brings you down. You got to be with somebody that you
never
dig.
been in a relationship with somebody that you found out later on that y'all have more in common because y'all had time to really become friends. See, a lot of times that love piece allows us to jump over the friendship piece.
Right.
And then we end up in a relationship with somebody that we adore.
Right, but you're supposed to go to
see, but that's the point.
You don't want to get to know the motherfucker once you find out you're in love.
Right. You in love. I don't need to know her.
Right.
All I know is that I love her.
I love it.
This ain't Romeo and Juliet.
You off the
We're in a struggle.
The point was being, God damn, that you do choose
here we go.
who you love.
Okay.
And you choose, and you want to, when you choose who you decide to love, you want to choose somebody that's going to be, lucrative in the relationship, an asset in the relationship.
Right. We want assets.
Suppose you love the motherfucker before all of that shit happened.
I think you have control over who you decide to love. I mean, I don't think that a motherfucker, that's just because you chose to love that motherfucker before you got to know him. You make a conscious choice, like, okay, cool. I'm going to take this, I'm going to get to know this individual. What?
How old are you before you are able to truly make a conscious choice? Because a lot of times let's just think about it.
You tell me, answer your own guy.
I'm going to say that a lot of us were guided by our loins. Like you asked me what I'm looking for, right? Now, in most cases in my youth, I wouldn't make it past the first one.
What you mean the first one?
The first one, ass and tits. I'm looking, ooh, nice meiotic build there. That's a nice, she's in balance with the universe.
Okay. All right, go ahead. What about
now, if I don't make it past the first and get into the second, I just fall in love with the first. Most of us fall in love with the first aspect, the outer part of a person. You
fall in love with the physical part.
Most of us do, especially when we're young. We fall in love with the physical. We love the diet. We love how their body move. We love how they look. You know what I'm saying? And you saying that we choosing. Are we really choosing?
Yes,
or is it the passion? Is it a passion there that we are?
If you're not choosing, then you have a lack of discipline when it comes to relationships. You should be, and when you come to anything, you should realize you have choices.
But when does that occur for a person?
I don't know the goddamn motherfucking time.
But
I'm just saying, they say the brain isn't fully developed until you're 25.
Okay, cool. That's the answer that I want.
Okay.
So we got a lot of people falling in love at 19 and 20 and 21 and making lifelong decisions. I'm gonna have a baby, or we're gonna have a baby, and now they 5 babies deep.
Usually not that.
And they have 5, 3, and 4 babies with pretty names. And both of them, all the children might be idiots because the 2 parents are idiots and they have not continued with their own.
So what do you do to solve that?
Well, first off, now we always end up back on the point of rites of passage, and we also need to have healthy elders, because this go back to the first point that you said. Because of the disconnection with the elders,
right,
we can't talk or have control.
Can't talk with these young folks.
And because I can't talk
because they're too busy caught up in the fact that you are.
Oh, you cussed at me. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Jesus.
In the community, that I'm in, is that I curse too much. You know what I'm saying?
You?
Yeah. They don't like my motherfucking name.
Who?
They. A lot of the elders think I curse too much.
What? Navita?
You curse just as much as I do. But
I'm a man. Girl, it's different.
It's
a sexist thing. I'm a man. I cuss matter of fact, I cuss more than you and better. I'm a better cusser than her. Me and her can have a cuss contest right now. I could throw together a better string of cuss words than she can ever come up with. Go ahead, Navita.
Sometimes, our elders, well, not just our elders, but our families. When we talk about building men and building women, we try something is wrong with that because we building people that are so soft that if you throw a piece of cotton on them motherfucking ass,
No, not nothing else.
if you throw a piece of cotton on them motherfuckers are kind of like start crying.
So Richard Dion Miller said you got to get the game from the elders so you know what's up.
But the elders got to have game.
And right. That's the thing. A lot of elders now, I'm realizing, especially with this COVID shit, I'm seeing a lot of shit that they don't have the game. We got a large group of elders that don't have the game to give. And what worked in the 1800s ain't working in the 21st century.
In the 1960s.
And when you tell a person that that's not working anymore, an elder, this is what I experienced. You say, "Oh, that's not working anymore," and they want to some of them want to still stick to that way of doing things. For example, when like how Tim was kind of using technology as an example, some of the elders they want to do paper flyers.
And I told them before COVID that shit
don't work. People don't really do paper flyers like that anymore. Most people but then you still have the ones that want to hold on to that word. I think that same concept it merges into the advice and consult that our elders are
giving us. They are out of touch with what reality is. At one point in time,
King T said, other guy talking about Alumala,
right.
said some of the elders are soft.
It ain't just the elders, but go ahead.
But we got people, the youngers, or the olders and the elders, but that are soft. But yeah, we got a lot of elders. When we go to council, they can't even throw the hatchet down on nothing. It's all about peace and love and harmony. Can we all just get along and be harmonious? But sometimes, which is my odd, if you got harmony or whatever, you got to have it. Yeah. And one thing is, you got to be ready. Are you ready to lay down that motherfucking habit? Or a lot of our elders that were really ready to bring the noise, so to speak, they ain't even on the council. They've been silenced. They ain't even on the council. Because these are the elders that are in charge have silenced them because they don't like the way they talk and they bring the noise. So how do we gotta bring our elders that's ready to bring the noise, which is that's what we hear Giame, or do we gonna bring these elders to the forefront?
We the next generation of elders, family. See, a lot of y'all that's listening here, a lot of us are the next generation of elders, and we have to understand this, and we have to embrace this, and we have to start walking in that. The whole issue is that we're moving into a new age, and we have to be willing not only to lead in this age, but be willing to pass on leadership because the generations are changing faster than when we was younger. Because I want y'all to think about this. We have elders that may have grew up in a town that did not have any contact with anybody during their formidable years. And some of us are international players. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking to me. Some of us are international players. Please understand. Some of us have been all over the world and all over the country between 20 and 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? How am I supposed to confine what the fuck I know about the world to what's going on in Columbus? What's up?
So King T. Moore said, we need to put most of our time into children, or we will continue down the same road with another weak, soft generation.
Well, now,
and I know, I agree with you on that, because I'm sick of fucking with some of these motherfuckers. I know one thing Professor Griff told me, sometimes you gotta let the dead bury the dead. And I think we got a generation of, even because last week we talked about young folks being soft. We talked about that last week. So this week we're going to talk about the olders and the elders being soft and what we do about that.
See, because a lot of times we use the spiritual tradition to keep us out of conflict. When conflict is a natural part of life. Every time, like when I take this pizza and I put it in my mouth, my body is in conflict with that piece of pizza. We can't avoid
Shooting down
conflict.
on it, right?
You know what I'm saying? You could be a vegetarian and say you're saving life, but you're not actually saving life because you're eating on live fruits and vegetables. It's a conflict. Life is about conflict, and many of us think that spirituality is about avoiding conflict. For example, we have motherfuckers that's talking about liberation, but don't want to know anything about war. You please understand that "Study War No More" is a song that was made for slaves because they didn't want your ass to study war no more. While you were singing "Study War No More," they created the war.
And that's why we have to teach our younger people. Because I mean, right now, I can help you with some war in other ways, but physical war, I can't do too much yet unless I'm, shooting or some
You're
shit.
good at physical war.
But my fucking knees and shit is fucked up, so I'm gonna have to go upside the motherfucker's head or something.
Your cussing is, in a sense, a way of waging war. See, a lot.
That's not physical. That's a verbal war.
But it's a war nonetheless. It's
a
conflict. And this is what people don't understand. This is why in geometry, one of the first questions that people have to learn is, what is a warrior? What is a warrior? One who is experienced or involved in conflict. So the first discussion that we have with all initiates in geometry, when they're coming in, is, what is a conflict? And then the next question we ask is, can a farmer be a warrior? Is a farmer a warrior?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because a farmer is a mathematician a warrior? Is a scientist a warrior?
Richard Dion said even the Bible says God is a God of war.
Because war is what maintains peace. You have to always prepare, because when you have freedom,
How do we bring freedom in? But speaking of freedom, we want you to come on in, Freedom. I sent her the link.
Yeah, you gotta click the link, baby. War or conflict is a necessary part of where we are going, because you can't maintain peace and you can't maintain freedom unless you are prepared for war, especially in a world that's run by Western Asians because they grew up on war. Please understand that.
Mm-hmm.
They study it. But yet we tell them motherfuckers to meditate and burn incense and everything is going to be all right. The world is in abundance.
It's in, I sent it to you.
You need to burn incense and say why this motherfucker burning. If a motherfucker come fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck his ass up.
I'm going to turn him into an incense and burn.
That's right. That's right.
Burn his ass too.
Okay.
I was when I was in the Marine Corps.
Uh-oh.
What
y'all study in the Marine Corps? Because that's an agency of the United States government. What y'all study in there?
We study war.
Right. Okay. All right.
Because I'm gonna talk about two incidents.
Okay.
The first incident I'm gonna talk about is that as a young man graduating out of high school, joined the Marine Corps, and they had about 8 motherfuckers. They call them drill sergeants, right? They parked us behind this building.
Okay.
And about 8 motherfuckers jumped out behind this building, right? They came through the door. They just snatched the door open, you know what I'm saying? And then when you're not used to shit like that, they kind of like hit you like this, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I wasn't even talking to a motherfucker, right? And a motherfucker came up to me and said, "You better shut your motherfucking mouth." Now he might have just saw my teeth, right?
Okay.
I was like this here. I was like this here, y'all.
Camera's right there.
Yeah, like this here. He said, "You better shut your fucking mouth. And if I wanted your mouth open, I'd tell you to open it." The mouth went like this, from here to here. So, those are very important things that I'm talking about today. About how we need to, govern our youth, our male children, and our female children. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have some kind of discipline about yourself. Now, in the Marine Corps, we used to run 3 miles a day. And all we said, and this right here was in the early 70s, right? Early 70s.
When they were still beating ass in the Marine.
Yeah. Motherfuckers were saying, like, When you running, you gotta say, kill, kill, shoot, shoot, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. You know, shit like that.
Yeah.
Because they gotta put that shit in your head.
They put that in your head.
You know, so that you won't fear no motherfucker.
You won't fear, and you will be able to pull the trigger when it's totally necessary. When it's necessary.
That's right.
For your country.
Because don't believe that the motherfucker ain't the motherfucker you looking for. Guess what?
What?
He looking for you.
Not only that,
and he trying to kill you, and you trying to kill him.
So that's we have to be prepared for war.
No, we are in war. It's beyond the right.
This is something that Shelly I said. No, I want you to. We are not in war at war because a war requires two people to be fighting each other. If you look
that's
up
bullshit.
The definition of war.
No, it don't.
That's what the well. That's
Man,
what
the definition say.
It does too say that shit.
That.
Yes, the fuck it does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Somebody look up the definition.
I'm about to look it up.
Vote for the video. Vote for Hot 10.
Just go ahead and talk.
It don't require no damn two people fighting and shit. Because there is a such thing as psychological war, which a lot of y'all are experiencing right now every day when you go on your job.
Okay, it says a state of armed conflict between different nations.
So what's
different
the arms?
States or different groups, plural.
Now, are we a different group?
Yes, but listen, a conflict
with arms.
Shut the fuck up and let me finish the goddamn sentence.
Man, you ain't got to finish it because I read it right with you.
Now, the conflict between different groups. The thing about it is, though, are we giving any conflict? Are we conflicting back? A lot of us are. What do you want to call it? We are not. Like we've been sitting here talking, we're not giving war tactics. We are under attack, but we are not attacking back.
Who?
Most black people.
Us. Now, let me say this. Always remember, for example, it's always less than 10% of a population that are the actual warriors. 10% of them are fighting back. This is why we doing this show. This is why a lot of us are in prison right now. We've been fighting. Some people been fighting. You don't need everybody to fight. You need a percentage to fight.
But when they get old, guess what? If you ain't built nothing.
Exactly. If you ain't trained, because you ain't got the drill sergeant. Because I was going to bring up the importance of, because one of the things that we have taken away from our children is the ability to lose. We want everybody to feel good, so we giving everybody trophies and shit, and I think it's robbing people of the fact that there's a possibility that no matter how much you prepare, you can always lose.
Right. Okay, so she said it won't open on this phone and the laptop is skinned.
And then we know, and then we also know that
That's some type of phone.
You know.
Go ahead, Lola.
You better not have a flip phone there.
Well, I forgot what I was.
Okay. I'm trying to get Freedom in here for her 10 minutes of freedom, but we having some technical difficulties.
Family, and that's the issue. We got to remember everybody is not prepared for the type of warfare that you're talking about. Even on the plantations, we were doing warfare. People didn't understand it.
True.
Like you look at it like, all of a sudden a barn would catch on fire, or all of a sudden all the hose would be broke. And I ain't talking about, hoes in the street sense. I'm talking about the hoes that go out into the garden. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There was a warfare. Indirect warfare. You don't always have to have.
So what part? Okay, so let's just go around because I think because that was something that Shelly I said, and I think she had a point with that war piece. But then again, some of us are fighting back, so we can't say all. I won't say all black people are not fighting back, but we have a lot of us who are not. There's not enough of us fighting back, I should say. I just heard something. Did she pop up?
Nothing. She ain't pop up. I don't know what's going on. There she go.
Here she come. Okay. I don't see you, Freedom. I don't see no face. Do I need to put this? No.
Click that. Well, not yet. Wait till her picture show up. We need your picture. Fix your camera, baby. All right, we're about to do the Freedom piece.
Well, we are trying to
We're
do
trying
it.
to, right.
We're waiting to see if Freedom can come through so she can give her 2 cents and her 10 minutes of freedom. But we're having some technical difficulties with that today. And she looks so black because it's Black History Month. y'all. And let's just in the spirit of Black History Month, I seen someone post something today, and it said that Black History Month is for white folks who don't know Black history. So, with that being said, yesterday, we're going to do the Black History Month trivia game, so sign up for that. We need, I think, maybe 2 more contestants to be. We got 2 spots left. Yeah, we got contestants already, people who have signed up. You can win a $100 gift card.
From Giammi Journey?
From Giammi
God
Journey.
damn it. We ain't got no... we need some more supporters.
So, anyway, I said, well, let me ask some of my people I know some of the questions to see how much of Black history Black folks know. Well, I asked question. There's Freedom. Hold on, yo.
Well, hold on. Finish your statement,
I asked the question, what was Malcolm X's birth name? And he's like, it's right there. Can't remember it.
Malcolm Jones.
What was his
Malcolm
name?
White.
So I gave him the
Malcolm
name.
Little.
I'm not gonna give the answer.
Malcolm Porch.
So then I said, well, what was Malcolm X's Muslim name? They just
Leroy Jones. Patrick Swayze.
Gunsmoke.
So then I said, okay, fuck that shit. So I said, well, who's the guy that did all those inventions with the peanut? That's an easy one. We learned that.
Oh, that's easy. That was Willie Thompson.
No, the first president, George Washington.
It was George Washington.
George Washington Carver. But anyway, I say that to say, damn it, Black History Month is for Black folks too, because a lot of Black folks don't know our history.
And
if it ain't Martin Luther the
they
King,
don't know shit.
They don't know shit. Okay,
but
let
me say this.
What?
All I want to say is, anybody that says that do not know the history of Black history, let alone of our people's history. Because please understand why it was developed and who it was developed by. A question. Go on, take us out.
Can you hear? Can you say something, Freedom?
Hey.
All right, it's time for.
Hey, everybody.
All right.
Hey, Blunt Talk. I love you guys.
We love you too. It's time for
Blunt Talk with Freedom.
10 minutes of freedom, motherfucker.
10 minutes of freedom.
10 minutes of this.
10 minutes of freedom.
10 minutes of freedom.
10 minutes of freedom.
Thank you, guys. That was fabulous. I'm Cheryl Freedom Johnson with your Black topics for today. Let's first, we got to give an honor, major salute to Queen Cicely Tyson. We got to pour out libations for her. Yes. The iconic actress whose career spanned over 7 decades.
Damn.
And impacted my childhood. Y'all remember Sounder? She was nominated for an Oscar for the movie Sounder. Also for the Miss Autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman.
I remember that.
Y'all remember that? And a myriad of other awards. She won a Tony, 2 Emmys, nominated for an Oscar, as I mentioned, and many other things during her stellar career. So salute me.
They call her what?
The Roots Woman.
They call her the Roots Woman.
Yes, yeah.
She was Kute's mother.
I don't know if you guys heard that the city of upstate Rochester is fuming over a 9-year-old little girl being handcuffed, thrown to the ground, and arrested by police officers.
Word. This is her right here in the back of a police car. They have her face because she's
right. During a call from the mother because the daughter was having a meltdown. So the mother is very upset. She wants to file suit against the police officers. And we all know how that goes.
But
They've
see,
been
that's what I
suspended.
want to know is what's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got to
What
say about
you
that
got to
shit.
say
Y'all
about
keep
that?
talking
Yes,
about shit like that. I want to know about what the fuck y'all gonna do about the police.
absolutely. And
Absolutely
lastly,
nothing.
yeah, absolutely, we need to do something about that. I'm sick and tired of it. It's every day. It's daily. And also in the news, COVID. Not surprising that blacks are not getting the vaccine, and whites are out there in droves getting the vaccine. We're making up about 5.4% of COVID recipients. That's what the CDC reports, and
So
they're
why do you
saying
think
that
black people ain't getting the vaccine? Like,
because we don't trust. I mean, the history. Come on, we do not trust the government. We do not trust the CDC. It's I mean, they're always conspiring against us. Always, we're the guinea pigs. Always. That's
Right.
a fact. That's a
The only
fact.
thing they can do for me is give me my tax return.
Right. So it's a no for me. Are you guys planning on getting the vaccine?
that's a big old negative.
That's a no for me.
It's a
I mean,
hell.
let's admit, they do report all the time on media those who are for the vaccine. They never report the medical professionals who aren't.
They
Let's
never
let's
do.
get that out there because there are many who aren't for that vaccine.
Right.
I know that when I took L to when he had to go over for testing over at the VA, nurse over there told him, "Don't take that vaccine. I'm not taking it, and you don't take it either. Whole lot of poison in that, nurse."
Okay.
Yes. And let's give also, hey guys, this is Black History Month. Although, as Navita said earlier, this is every day, all day for many of us. But not all Black people get it, like she said. So today let's give honor. I got two for 10 minutes of freedom. Let's give honor. I bet you guys didn't know who the first silent film actress was.
No.
Nina Mae McKinney. Nina Mae
Mm.
McKinney.
All
Not a
right.
May.
Nine of
You see
May.
her?
Who's on
Yep,
the
you
field
see
line?
her? Yeah, she spanned a career of um she was also called the Black Heart Garbo, and she was born in 1912 to May 3rd, 1967. Wow.
So she was
And
the first one. She was the first. What? Can you say that
she was
again?
the first Black silent film movie star. And of
Okay.
course, she ended up moving to Paris, as a lot of our musicians and movie stars did back in that day, because Hollywood wasn't treating Black artists fair. And she was considered the Black Garbo of her time.
Okay then.
So that was Nina Mae McKinney. And also, have to leave with the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Come on.
Shay.
What?
Right.
Got to leave
Yeah.
with him. He was the founder and president of General of the Universal. I can't see shit.
Negro Improvement
Negro Improvement
Association.
Association and African Communities League.
African Community.
So I give highest salute and honor to him. You see his picture because I can't see shit.
I can see it in the
Y'all see, Peter, you
background.
got it. You got him up
You don't
there.
have a
Do
picture
you
of it.
did you
No.
get him up there?
He
So
got
I
he got
He's
in
in
salute.
the
your
room. He in the
background. He's in
background.
your background. But let me say this
Oh,
about
okay.
Marcus Garvey too. He was able to gather how it was like what thousands, millions of people for the cause without
Yes, he
social
was.
media or any of this that we
Hmm.
we couldn't
Hmm.
motherfuckers to do shit.
And do you know how they arrested him? They went back. They got him for mail fraud, but it was not even a law at the time. They made the law and then went back and charged him for years prior.
Right.
And that's why I say you can't tell me that we
Like,
can listen and trust even the criminal. That's what I talk about the criminal justice
Tell him,
system
baby.
for. Because
yeah,
this is the type of shit they do. So when you see a charge on a motherfucker, you know, it could be some made up shit like they did with Marcus
I
Garvey.
don't trust them. Yes. And I'll leave you guys with this. And this is what the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey said. A people without knowledge of self, past, history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots.
Fruits.
That's
Dig
right.
it.
I
Dig
say,
it. That
all
was your
right,
10 minutes of freedom. Ashe.
10 minutes of freedom.
Hey.
10 minutes of freedom.
all right, then. Thank you, sister. And we are back.
We back.
And we are at the end of the hour of
What?
power.
Yes,
It's over?
Yeah.
It's after
I
8
can't read a
o'clock.
poem?
You can read a poem. Go ahead and read a poem.
This is a poem from my book. It's only 15 pages, so bear with me because I know Leah was going to stop me. It's called A Warrior Call. It's not that long. Who will remember us? Who will remember us? Who will remember us? Don't you hear our ancestors well? Wonder who will remember them and tell their tales. Where are the epic poems, their odysseys? Do we refuse to brag and boast about their greatness out of modesty? Who will remember us? This is the question that echoes through my mind, driving me insane with grief, still in the hands of time. So I have to send shots out to our past and salute those men and women who walked the warrior's path. They fought for me. They fought for me so that I could be free. They fought for me so that I can see. They fought for me so not so that I can watch TV, but for me to become the next revolutionary. Who will remember us is the question. And the answer I shout in all 7 directions is me. I will sing your tales. I will tell about your bravery in the face of hell. I will sing about how you sacrifice your bodies in battle and your souls left in ease, and how your warrior spirit is infecting your children like a disease. At least those who want to be free. I will tell your tales and sing your praise and plead your case until your monuments are raised. I will tell your stories. I remember you when all else is forgotten. I will tell how for my survival you pick cotton. How dare we allow our lives to pass without pouring libations or raising our glass in celebration of those who fought in every way. As long as I breathe, your memory will stay, whether you fought directly or through passive aggression. I have studied you and learned my lessons. Now it's my turn to follow the path toward destiny and begin to ask the question you first asked me. Who will remember us?
Ashe.
Elder.
All right, well, the lines is open. I forgot to put the number up. If anybody want to call, we got a few minutes left. If nobody call,
I got another poem.
No, the hell you
I got a joke.
Well, what's the joke?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
To get to Popeyes.
That's true. You messed up the joke.
I got a what? What was the? We ain't even have no damn punchline.
I didn't actually. I was just trying to give y'all time to call in 614-556-4535. Hit us up on the black line. It is the black line. The black signal is flying in the air, and we are waiting for you.
Well, I know Richard Dion said they always change the rules. We got to move as a nation within a nation. Nation with I did. We got to move as a nation within a nation.
That's right. That's right.
And if we ain't got a nation, we got to move as tribes.
Right.
And then we come together. And
as a nation. We can come together.
Right. But we got to get those tribes together, family.
Yeah.
So you want to join the tribe, become a supporter of GMA Journey Media. You go to, well, the website's down right now.
No, that website ain't down.
Okay.
You go to supportgnj.media. Supportgnj.media.
And you can become a supporter by donating $10 a month to GMA Journey Media. And what we do is, like Brother King T was saying, we work with the young folks and we give them knowledge, we give them rites of passage programs, and we give them survival, training.
Right. What the hell did that?
What are you doing? You over there fucking up shit.
Man, be quiet.
So anyway,
Look, I love you.
Nobody's calling in today.
They're scared.
So okay,
Don't
what are
be
you
scared.
doing now?
I'm trying to type in so that they can go on and
Well, ain't nobody calling in. We're gonna end the show.
Yeah, all right, hold on, baby. Please.
Oh my God, this motherfucker wanna drag this shit on.
You lucky I love you. There you go, right
There we go. All right, there you go. G&J Media support. There you go. Become, and if you want to be a member of our tribe, inbox us, and you can be a member of our tribe and be involved in all the things we do. Coming up, we got the Nguza Samba Festival for Black History Month.
What's that?
The Nguza Samba Festival is an online virtual festival. If you want to have a part in the festival, inbox me or Brother Hatim or Brother Alumala, and make sure you tell us what you want to contribute. If you want to do a segment, on what you do in your community, if you want to do a segment on what we need to do in our community, if you want to do a poem, if you want to, tell a story.
Do some comedy.
You want to do some comedy. You want to do some dance moves. You want to talk about a significant person in history. Shoot it on through so we can make this first annual Nguza Saba Festival a success. Because this is the type of things that we need to do for our community so we can have cultural stabilizers.
Right. If jumping up and down is what you like to do, come on, do it.
Come on and do it.
Just do it in rhythm.
And spread the word. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Peace and hair greases, Brother Mutape would say.
Put on a commercial before you end the stream. Come on now.
Okay, Tim, you need to calm down. Calm your ass down. Here we go. That's not the commercial. That's Kwame Kilpatrick.
Right. Commercial thing.
Agenda. So from the surface, he might look a little black. Just a little smidge. But then on the inside...
Okay.
Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Geometry Journey, see some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. And we'll make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Geometry Journey, and let's build together.